Welcome back to Harkins Haven. Today we are going to start cabbage seeds. So Blaine is getting our dirt ready. We're going to get some water in it. I have a few 6-cell type recycled seed starter trays that we're going to use. So we're just mixing some water in here to get the soil damp in order to start our seeds. Nothing fancy, that's just a jug of water that I filled up at the garden hose. So if we had broccoli seeds, we would be doing broccoli right now too, but I don't have any broccoli seeds, so we're just starting cabbage this year. In true gardener fashion, the next conversation we proceed to have right here as I'm filling trays is where we can order broccoli seeds from. So we did go ahead and order a packet of broccoli seeds that we will be planting as well, but it ends up being about a week later before we can get the broccoli seeds planted. Which is fine. We're still learning this year about what we do and don't want to grow and how to grow all those things. It's a little bit of a learning curve, and as you can see, we're just using whatever kind of recycled materials we have. I haven't invested in a lot of seed starting trays yet. So these are just they were plant starts last year, and now they're seed starting trays. The black tray on the bottom is from our microgreen set, and it doesn't have any holes in it. So that will serve both as a carrying tray and as a watering tray. And I went ahead and I tried to put one seed in each hole. Some of them actually got two. And then just covered them up a little bit with some dirt. And that was about all. And then I took them inside to our grow lights. And that's where we put them in order to get them to start growing. I don't have germination mats on there right yet. But the cabbages sprouted just fine without any extra heat and just the lights. So this is the type of cabbage we grow. It's called Catarina cabbage. Okay, while we're at this, we're also going to do some blueberry cuttings. So we're going to fill up a couple of these little So these are also just recycled little plastic buckets from earlier plant starts that we've gotten or that were on our property when we got here, that Blaine and I are just filling up with some dirt, potting soil. And then I am not claiming to be an expert on this. This is the first time I've done this, and it seems like there's a lot of different opinions on how you should do blueberry cuttings on the internet. So we just decided to try one. So we are doing this in February. So this is supposed to be a hardwood dead type pruning cutting. And then I'm just taking about 6-inch pieces, trying to make sure there's at least 2 to 3 little bud areas on there, and dipping the end in rooting hormone and sticking them in the bucket. Once again, I'm not an expert, so I'm not claiming that this is the golden way to do it. This is what we're going to try for this year. And if we get nothing, we get nothing, and we didn't lose anything. But if we get them to work, we'll have just started 6 or 7 new blueberry plants from each of our 2 different types of blueberries. Blueberries are one of Blaine's absolute favorite fruits. So last year we didn't even get to bring any inside because he just ate them off the plant, and I had to scare him away from eating them. He'd just eat them green. He didn't even wait till they were blue. We had to teach him the difference. So he will just eat all the blueberries. So we need a lot.
Alright, nobody keeps asking if Grandma does weightlifting.
You just tell them I'm a grandma. Okay, welcome back to seed starting part 2. We're going to do a few more seeds. So I did go ahead and get the broccoli seeds that I told you about in the last video. And it is now time to start pepper seeds. And no, Mama needs those, please. Thank you. You want to put something in your truck? Here. Put these in your truck. And I also have asparagus because reading on this, it says to plant it 8 to 12 weeks before the last frost indoors. And we definitely have less than 8 to 12 weeks. So we're going to go ahead and plant it, and it might be a little bit later than normal, but oh well. I also have a couple of pelleted seeds in here. They're coated. And I have been told that pelleted seeds are only good for 1 year. Like they don't have a very good germination rate after that first year. But that's just what I've been told. So we're gonna go ahead and plant them. I have 1 packet of seeds that's not pelleted and then 2 packets that are. So we're going to just plant all of it and see if we can get our asparagus bed going. Okay, so we're gonna start with the asparagus and we're just gonna put it in one of these microgreen trays after we make some wet dirt. Okay, so I'm going to speed through this because there's only so many times you can watch somebody make dirt, even if that somebody is a super cute toddler. But we're just adding water and putting it in our little tray. So asparagus actually takes several years to get going. You shouldn't really harvest a whole lot of it in the first couple years, unless you get it from Crowns, which speeds it up. But those are more expensive, and I already had asparagus seeds. So we're going to try it this way, and I know it will be 2 or 3 years before we actually get a harvest out of these asparagus, but if you don't get started, you'll actually never get there. So we're just going to go ahead. If it doesn't work very well, we could always next year buy Crowns and jumpstart it that way, but at least we'll have started something and we'll have tried it this year since we already owned the seeds. And on the top of that, you'll watch me fill up all these little trays that are flimsy and look recycled. That's because they are flimsy and recycled. So we haven't really spent a lot of money on our seed starting equipment just yet because, one, I need to know what I need and how much of things I need, which I don't know yet because this is my first year starting a lot. And so we're just going with the year of the recycled goods. And if they only last this year, they only last this year, and that's fine. At least we've got something going and we'll know better next year what we do and don't like. Okay, so we're going to do this top tray in broccoli, which I have right here. My broccolis are Calabrese green sprouting. I don't really know a lot about broccoli varieties. I just picked one. I'm going to try and do about 1, maybe 2 broccoli seeds per little hole. Well, at least I can say that I don't have to worry about covering up my seeds because my little helper is covering them up for me. And he really, really wants the seed packet, but that's a great way to get broccoli all over my front lawn and not in my seed trays. So that's why we're fighting a little bit with a toddler as we try to plant our broccoli. Okay, next we're going to work on some peppers. And this tray is just going to be bell peppers, which is what we use the most. I am going to grow some hot peppers because both my husband and my mother like them, but I'm not a huge fan of hot peppers. But we're going to start with, oh no, no Sharpies for you. We're going to start with Golden California Wonder and California Wonder. Hold on, Blaine, we're going to put the seeds in. You going to sit with Mama? You going to get some more dirt? sure all you boy moms out there can empathize, but my toddler has a sudden obsession with rocks. So that's why we're planting rocks in our, I don't know. But we do have to get onto him because throwing rocks is not acceptable. But hey, he's playing outside even though it's cold, and we try to get him outside as often as possible. So I'm just happy he's out here with me as we plant some pepper seeds. And y'all let me know what your favorite varieties of all of these plants are, because I am still brand new at this, so picking varieties is a little bit daunting. Okay, so this is our inside where we have our seeds. This is just an old little screen thing. It keeps the toddler a little less interested in the dirt. So let me bring you in and show you our seeds. So these are our onion seeds, and they are looking very, very leggy. So I think I have the light too far away, but we're gonna go with it and try. I'm gonna give them some fertilizer this week. There's the rest of the onions right here. And then these are the 2 trays of asparagus we just started. I need to separate them out so they're not on top of each other. This is the cabbage that we started a few days ago. The broccoli we just did now, and the peppers we just did now. And down on the bottom are the blueberries. Okay, so that's all that we've got in there for the seeds. Tomorrow I'm gonna need to add some lights to that bottom where the blueberries are, so we can put another tray down there. We haven't even started tomatoes yet, and while I don't want to go super overboard, tomatoes are one of the products, especially paste tomatoes, so we can make sauce, one of the products I'm most excited about. So I definitely want to have room to start some of those. So this shelf may not end up being enough for us this year, we'll have to see. But I'm gonna get this all cleaned up tomorrow. I'm also gonna plant a few more peppers. That was on my list, and it says lettuce is on my list. I don't even know, I thought you weren't supposed to transplant lettuce, so I gotta do some research on those. And then later this week or early next week, we're supposed to start tomatoes. So we'll have all of those coming out soon. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out because we're out of space and it's too cold to have the boys outside to finish planting our peppers. So we'll do those tomorrow. So I will see you next time.